Click the links for Odysee, Bit Chute, join the Discord, and to support the channel, or join the YouTube channel and become a member. So Chris Pratt, Jesus Christ, triggers the godless, filthy parasites. Probably should not have said that in the first 30 seconds. Okay, so the weird thing about SJWs is the words Jesus Christ cause them to shrink back in horror. It's as if these words have a magic power to repel these people, as if they're demons in disguise, which is very much possible. I mean, figuratively at least. Christians make SJWs insane. Also, happy families make SJW soy boys and cat ladies lose their freaking minds. They're like fat people angry at skinny people when all you have to do to improve is just get out of your own way and skip a meal. Same with SJWs. If they weren't so pseudo-outraged over their cognitive dissonance worldview, they'd be able to see the real world, accept what is really going on, and move beyond it. The left is pissed that America is crap. And it is. And they want to blame conservatives, especially the blonde-haired, blue-eyed European ones. But the problem is they can't. The left absolutely controls Hollywood media, social media. And now they got Biden in office. If they're complaining about anything, they're looking at themselves. They are the douchebags in charge. Every once in a while, a Chris Pratt sneaks through the cracks. The new guy, he's the guy who spoke up against. More on him in a second. Chris Pratt will sneak through the tracks, and a few others. They just can't accept that they control 99% of Hollywood. Gina Carano, Pratt, and a few others drive them absolutely nuts. They have to get rid of them, even if it makes the films worse. They don't care about the art form or even the money. They want absolute power, even if it is power over garbage. They're the people who would rather rule in hell over an empire of dirt than serve in heaven. So SJWs make everything crap. Then they're curious why everything is crap. Enjoy that $5.50 California gasoline, you effing clown shoes. SJWs are mad and have nobody to blame. If they can't make you feel guilty, then they go into fits of rage. Christianity is awesome, religion aspects aside, because it triggers commies. It's like the ultimate troll. And when I was on Twitter, I would explain my version of religion that involved the figurative flaming sword yeeting the godless infidels, and how the angels were commanding the righteous ones to wade through rivers of blood to purify the evil. They would loudly and whine at me that was not the teachings of the New Testament, but I explained that it was my own interpretation. They would argue, but the thing is, if they're not Christian in the first place, who cares what they think? My Jesus has an AK in one hand and a flaming plutonium sword in the other. I mean, why would I allow someone to explain my interpretation of religion to me? They are godless infidels, and they will burn in the Johnny Cash lake of fire. Twitter was a lot of fun. I'm glad that I don't use it anymore. When I was finally shown the door the 6th time for the 3rd burner phone number, it was getting pretty weird when I left. People were getting to the writing names on bullets stage. On Twitter, they were making lists of enemies of truly horrible people. It seems like in preparation for violence when words are violence. Anyway, so the left-wing Twitter weirdos, they see Chris Pratt and they want to destroy everything about him. Anna Faris said in some interview, she said she's a fierce feminist, and then she got a boob job, and she was having some issues with it. It's like, then why would you get a boob? I just wanted to fill out a bikini. But why do you want to fill out a bikini? Getting like cosmetic surgery to take an already beautiful person and make them more beautiful is just the height of insanity to me. Anyway, I'm not a fan of like somebody risking the risks, a very real risks of surgery to go up a cup size. That is insane to me. Abraham Lincoln said you can't make a man feel bad about himself when he knows his God loves him. SJWs hate that concept of a class of people that answer to a higher purpose, who aren't as worried about the judgment of man when they know that they will go before the only judge that matters, the King of Kings. Now, I know hashtag our guys have a mild schism between Christian, pagan, and even atheism. This is, I guess, more for the Odysee Bit Chute crowd and Gab and Discord. You know who you are. And I know that there are hardcore people in all camps, but I think the vast majority of us just want to fight the real enemy and move towards a solution that works, a better tomorrow. There is no time for infighting. Everything I say sounds like a dog whistle. It's really not, but I'm hearing this, and it does sound like dog whistles, but I'm not sure what it's a whistling for. There's no time for infighting when there are so many barbarians at the gate. Why Chris Pratt Christianity drive them mad? Christianity loosely represents order out of chaos, a patriarchy, a structure. It's an old formula of man feeds and cares for women. She nurses the child. From that nucleus, everything else flows. The problem for them is that tribalism or nationalism in some form. Families are risk adverse, and they want stable towns, and they want to be surrounded by like-minded people who will fight the same enemies and who will uphold the same values. That's pretty much the core of nationalism. And there's no diversity is our strength in that concept, because diversity is disunion. It's weakness. It's what the word means. They don't want to live in filthy, crime-ridden cities, not with young kids or even with. Once a man by himself has one risk. He will risk himself in certain situations, things he just won't do when he has a child. Is a whole different, it like civilizes a young man. It turns like a young man from a kind of a savage into a civilian. I don't know where I was going with that. Single cat ladies and soy boy cells want to get lost in the anonymity and degeneracy of a city. They want box wine, cooming, prawn, video games, and Twitter outrage. They want the policies that cause high crime, even if they don't exactly want the crime, which results, and they definitely don't. They don't want to be victims of it, but they don't know how to speak out against it, because to do so is istophobic. They paint themselves into corners all the time. Ack Nation talks about this on YouTube. He's not going to be on YouTube for long, because he's going against the narrative, and they are going to show him the door. So these liberals, and that's not exactly accurate, because many of us are actually liberals according to the true meaning of the word. These Marxists, these useful idiots, they create and support evil policies that create disunion, cacophony, discordance, which threatens to swallow us up all in the waves of crime and filth. And then you have Christians and some pagan tribal groups who see this Luciferian filth for what it is, and they reject it. They say we can't be a part of this world where they wallow in filth, where they tear down icons of their betters and worship cutthroats and mongrel curs. A society that venerates thieves and junkies, and not even the horrors of Babylon, but boys dressed in a mockery of the sacred female. That's a society that is waiting and ready for a course correction, someone to whip them back into shape. Bolshevism is the religion of bankers, big tech, and the media. They want filthy cities to hide every evil. No, mutilating children is not stunning and brave, and I hope one day that the victims can seek redress of that grievance. Bolshevism, globalism doesn't exactly make man God or have them strive to ascend. It makes some men kings and emperors, these Soros and Rothschilds type. They're more powerful than any king, and it makes everyone else a debt slave to funnel gold to these puppet masters. Christians, nationalists, tribalists, pagans, they're all free to fight these Bolsheviks. How do Bolsheviks compel behavior? Now, all they have to do is call you istophobic, and you'll be set upon by the mob, doxxed, fired, and the banks will kick you out. You'll be banned from payment processors and any crowdfunding. It's not just Chris Pratt. They don't give a shit about some actor in a movie. It's everything he represents, everything the family represents, and kind of in a weird way, the rejection of Anna Faris compared to the Whore of Babylon. It's hard to attack a family or a tribe with cultural Bolshevism, cultural Marxism, with propaganda, because you have a strong counter narrative where like they want people as rootless and cut off as possible from history, which is why they need to tear down all these icons and why they're doing a lot of what they're doing now, which must not be spoken of on YouTube. The three is a magic number, is the trinity of the family. And then from that, you grow out into a tribe. And then you have essentially, instead of this tribe of Bolsheviks attacking individuals, and like obviously soldiers are always going to beat warriors. Warriors fight as individuals, and soldiers fight as a team. But once the warriors start, individuals, these family nucleuses start teaming up to form tribes, then you can fight back. You can say, okay, well, these media, these big techs, these are Bolsheviks. You have a name for them. They're Bolsheviks, they're Marxists, they're globalists, whatever you want to call them. They have a name, and we can come up with a name too. We're our own tribe of people who are not degenerates. We don't want all these things that these globalists are pushing. So now you're not fighting as an individual. You're holding up a shield, and there's a million other people who are helping you hold up that shield, and then you shine a spotlight on them, and you say, these are globalists. They're evil. We don't have to listen to what they say. We don't have to take them seriously. We can reject them. We can push them away. We don't want them around our communities, which means ultimately we have to form communities apart from them, because you can't have them running school boards. You have to run for school boards yourself. And ultimately, I mean, in a geographic sense, like you can't have them around your kids, influencing your kids in a geographic sense. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all on Bit Chute and Odysee.